the color. We haven't been on here for a while, guys.
Yeah.
So welcome to Hashes but
Economics,
Economics,
Hatches, but
and I am certified relationship coach, and I run the Laws of Enchantress program as well. And to date, since 2018, my Laws of Enchantress program have gotten over 50 women healed, whole, in love, and healthy relationships. This wonderful gentleman, who I love
hello.
so much, is my husband, and we were married February
11th.
11th. I'm like, it's late here for us, okay? February 11th, 2020.
Yeah.
So I want to come on because, in my Laws of Enchantress page, I have a sign up page that you guys can message on Facebook. And you can join the free page to learn about the program. And what are you doing there?
Just checking the smile up, I'm on the camera.
Oh my God, Jason. I'm like, what is he doing?
Yeah.
But in the Laws of Enchantress program, we talk a lot about femininity, masculinity, and we talk about a lot of things that are going on in the self-help world. What I want you to know about me before you even go forward is that I'm a research-based coach. I don't do trigger coaching. I don't do gossip coaching. I love science, I love research, and I love data. And that's why I think to date, since 2018, over 50 Black women have taken my program. And they found love, healing, and most of all, traditional healthy relationships based on health, science, therapy, and psychology. I'm a certified life coach. I'm a certified law of attraction practitioner. I'm a certified relationship coach with several certifications in mental health and narcissism. So, I'm just holding my husband here. So, I want to talk about the topic of this, about beta men, because I think beta men have a big role to play in the chaos that's happening out there. Men are leaders, men are dominant. I'm a traditional wife, I'm a stay at home wife, and I'm also Roman Catholic Christian. My husband's also Christian as well. And, I think that beta men have a big role to play in what's happening, but because they can flex, they can pretend to be alpha, they can pretend to be traditional, they can pretend to be dominant, and they're like a ninja. We're talking about this the other day in my free sign up page. In the laws, and my husband's making me laugh, in the Laws of Enchantress. And I think I was watching a documentary, and my husband can attest to this, and it was talking about how in traditional, for thousands and thousands of years, men had to fight, men had to go to war, men had to battle. I think we can all agree, whether it was the
Yeah.
Vikings, whether it was Genghis Khan, we can all agree that men used to fight and go
Yeah,
to
yeah,
and
yeah.
go to war. All right. And the men who ended up ruling, whether it was Shaka Zulu in Africa, whether it was in Scandinavia, whether it was in Japan, the samurais, the ninjas, it didn't matter. The men who were ruling were the alpha men, the strong men. And either three things happened to the other men. Either A, they were killed in battle. Either two, they died out. They just died out because they lost the war. Or three, they began to submit. They submitted to the alpha men. And this went on for thousands of years. This is not something that is just a one shot. This happened on all seven continents for thousands of years. And this is when the male patriarchy was dominant. Now, because of modern intervention, because of modernization and stuff that we couldn't even imagine 1,000 years ago, a lot of beta men who can't lead, who can't build, who can't dominate, who can't provide, are the ones who are actually teaming up with the feminists, entertaining the feminists, engaging them while coming in like a double
Appeasing.
agent, appeasing.
Yes.
What do you mean?
Appeasing them. Giving them what they want.
Giving them what they want.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's a good thing. I use a great analogy, and again, I'm going to make it clear. I'm not talking about politics. I'm not telling you who I voted for. But a good example is, and this is very controversial, is what happened with Donald Trump. I didn't vote for Trump. I'm not going to go into it. But I'm a neutral person. I'm a logical thinking woman. During Trump's, I think, campaign or presidency, over 22 women came forward and said they were attacked or whatever. I don't want a video to get blocked. I don't want to say the word. And I told my husband this the other day in the car when we were coming home.
Yeah.
I said, "Where are all these women? I mean, I'm not trying to be an idiot, but if 22 women are accusing Trump of, you know what, he's out of the presidency now. He's even more vulnerable legally. When a president's in office, unless it's like something happening in the White House, in Congress, it's so hard to do
Well, he can
anything.
be impeached for high crimes and misdemeanors, can't he?
Yeah, but it's not
Yeah.
easy.
Yeah.
It has to be something that happened
I know.
in the actual political realm.
Yeah.
Okay? So he's not president anymore. So where did all 22 women go? Again, I'm not being a mammy. I'm not saying these women didn't experience something unsavory. But the truth is, how do all 22 women, disappear even when he's more vulnerable? I believe that beta men who could not take him down the right way teamed up with these women to target political powerhouses. I'm not defending him, I'm not protecting him, but I do find it very weird that all 20, because if you do something to me, I told my husband, if you attack me, if you do anything to me, I'm going to chase you to the end of the world. I am going to sue you, pursue you. I don't care. And you might say, well, not everybody is the same as you, but all 22 decide to fade off. I can't even name one person.
Yeah.
So you have to understand that they're not working individually. They're working with other men. And whether you agree with happened or not, the fact is these beta men can't defeat him straight on, so they go behind his back. And this is how a lot of beta men are teaming up with extreme feminists. And when I say extreme feminists, I mean women that hate men, women that hate patriarchy, women that say marriage is bad, men is bad. I'm talking about the extremities. Women that celebrate, men on one side, women on the other side. I'm talking about the extremity. I'm not talking about the healthy aspects of feminism. I want to make that clear. Having the right to vote, having the right to have a credit card, having the right to get a job with education. We're not talking about the classic. We're talking about the extreme weird realm that we're in. And traditionally, these beta men either, like I said, submitted, were defeated, died out, or just eventually just didn't exist. And a lot of these beta men are covert men. They're in the same spaces as alpha men who want traditionalism, good alpha men who say they want to be providers, they want traditional families, they want traditional virtues, they want healthy marriages, they want healthy communities. And these same men they're in the spaces saying the same thing, but as soon as they're alone, they're the ones trying to wife unsavory women. They're the ones trying to date, trying to be very nice here, unsavory ladies. And they're the ones buying Tiffany rings for these. Oh, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. They're the ones buying Tiffany diamonds for women that shouldn't be getting them. They're the ones buying Cartier, Burberry. Listen, the truth is out there. Men are dominant, okay? Men are our leaders, our protectors. The society we're seeing today is a lot of beta male. Just like I just told my husband, I'm a comic book geek. I'm not ashamed to say I
Yeah.
like he's like, yeah. I like comic books. I like Marvel.
Yeah.
I like stuff like that. And I'm a nerd. I'm a self-proclaimed nerd. And I tell my husband, like, they just made Robin from Batman bisexual. Robin is in the DC comic books. He just asks a man for a date. And I'm like, what the heck is this? Like, I don't have a problem, but why are we changing the characters from what they were originally designed? If you want to make, no offense, that type of character, make a whole new one. But why you gotta
Yeah.
change Batman and Robin? How odd is that gonna be for Batman now? Like,
Yeah.
is he gonna date Batman too? And when you look at the artists are men.
Yeah.
So, honey, what do you think about that?
Well, it's about appeasement and bottom line, isn't it? For these people, they don't care. It's they're trying to sort of include a certain group that they feel has some form of power over them, and they
So
care.
you're saying the women have power over them?
You have to remember, Marvel. They're in the business of selling, aren't they?
But they sell to guys.
Yeah, but they're trying to include other people as well, Connie. This is what they're trying to do. It's yeah, it's very lovely. I
Oh,
love
thank
it.
you.
It's but they're trying to appease to other people, aren't they? What they perceive as some form of influence. If they don't go along with them, they may go after them politically, or don't avoid them. So quote unquote cancel culture, if you want to put it that
Oh.
way. So it's
So
they,
you think it's necessary? They felt the pressure to make Robin, and I
yeah.
mean, I don't. Someone is glowy. Thank you. I also, and again, this is not an anti-alternative life spiel.
Yeah.
This is America. You do what you want. You live how you want. But even Loki came out as Loki, in the comic book. He came out with alternative lifestyle, and I'm like, who is doing? I mean, I'm a diehard Marvel X-Men comic book
Hmm.
geek. I love the movies. I used to go to the village. I used to collect all the Marvel comic books. I used to buy them. I used to search for the issues. They're all men who draw these art.
Hmm.
All like, who's doing this? Like, what's happening?
Well, I don't know who it is individually behind closed doors, but it's obviously people calling the shots upstairs. They've got a market to sell to,
What
and
market? It's men.
not just men, though, is it? They're trying to appear to, to be sort of accepting of, the love is love sort of. It's and
Make
they.
your own. Okay, make your own character.
Well, can you imagine if they turned out and said we're not going to do this because it's it's
So you think they were asked? That somebody asked them?
well, maybe I don't know, but at the end of the day, they're doing it for a reason, and they're trying to sell. So, it's they're trying to do this to gain monetary reasons because they're a business, they're a company. They want to sell things.
It's just,
It's
I miss you too. It's just weird to me because for years, Marvel's been out for 50,
mm-hmm,
60 years. They've had success. The reason people are gonna go and see Marvel movies
mm-hmm.
is because of their legacy.
Yeah,
Why change the formula? Like
because they're in their heads. That's where they think the big buck is. It's kind of like how can I say? Do you remember when a couple of slightly different sort of story, but it's the same sort of thing in terms of worrying about who they think is gonna affect their bottom line. Do you remember when John Cena went to because he starred in the latest Fast and Furious? John Cena,
he did?
yeah,
John Cena?
and
I didn't know.
he referred to Taiwan as a country. And then later on, he apologized in Mandarin, saying he was so sorry he offended the Chinese people because because China doesn't see Taiwan as a country. They don't recognize Taiwan. They see it as like their property, and they will try maybe eventually try and military overtake it. And
Thank you,
thank you so
Major.
much.
Thank you.
And and he did that because the Fast and Furious franchise were trying to break into the Chinese market. They realized that's where the big buck was, and
Oh,
if
so
they
they're
went and if
okay.
he didn't apologize, they may China may pull the movie for a star being in the movie being sort of to recognize as Taiwan as a legitimate country. So
Okay.
yeah, it's a bit like that. So it's you kind of they're in the business in their heads. If it makes dollars, it makes sense to them. So
So you're
it's
saying, so you're okay. So you're saying, okay, all
mhm.
right, I get what you're saying. So you're saying that Marvel and the comic books, they're just trying to appease a bigger crowd or get.
Yeah, to get more.
Okay, all
Yeah.
right, but don't lose your fan base. Don't
Yeah,
lose your
but
fan
that's just the
base.
thing. They may not. They actually sometimes things like this do backfire because they misjudge their true fan base, and if people start boycotting that because of these certain situations, and admit, oh crap, maybe we did a false move there, and it's
Yeah. So I'm looking at the comments now because I just opened my laptop,
mm-hmm,
and like I said, I am a very neutral, fact based coach. I don't believe in you know, playing for the women's team, playing for the men's team. I'm very research based.
mm-hmm,
And I think, not to toot my own horn, that's why I have so much success because I'm not doing, spy versus spy, tit for tat, which a lot of coaches are doing now. Either these coaches are pro women or pro men. They're either pro swirl or pro black. Nobody's looking at the actual data and statistics and saying, this is what we do, this is what we need to change, this is how we get better. So and I really think the beta men, they have to lie to actually
mm-hmm.
seem dominant. Like, for example,
Yeah.
and guys, it doesn't make sense. They're chasing new age group of their fan base who identify as something else in hetero. It's just, listen,
Mm-hmm.
because I used to read comic books. I used to love Thanos, Marvel. I was a big comic book head. Like you couldn't get into comic books. I used to collect. I used to draw them for goodness sake. I was obsessed, and I look now and it's like it's a whole different genre. Do I have a problem with representation of that? No, but make their own comic, make their own character. I can't say anything if that's the character's origins. But if Superman is born on Krypton, you can't change Superman and make him be born someplace else. And just because I want to change, whatever. So also with beta men like to lie. And
Yeah.
I've been catching a lot of lies. Like I was telling my husband the other day, one of my male followers told me, and I'm reading from my Facebook. If you guys want to see my Facebook, where you can message me for my program, let me see if how do I even like say something? Okay, this is my Facebook. So I had a guy who came on my Facebook and told me that men were complaining about African American women that we're not feminine, we're not soft, and they're going to countries like Colombia, Brazil, Venezuela, Japan, and all these countries where they're claiming to have more feminine women. He told me to look up somebody named Al Grease, and I never heard of him. And I want to say this, okay? Two things. If you don't want to date black women, that's okay. We're not going to be offended. Well, I won't. Well, I won't. I
Yeah.
think everybody should be free. I'm obviously in an interracial relationship with my loving husband, and I love my husband so much, and I'm happy. And I think that, we should support all types of healthy love, whether it's black love. I'm not against that, of course not, because I'm a product of a healthy black love. Whether it's interracial, it doesn't matter. If you're loving the person for the right reasons, I fully support it as a mental health advocate. But when I hear particular men say they have to go to Venezuela, they have to go to Colombia, it's funny because when they go to those countries that are in poverty, with the exception of Japan, Japan's a G7 nation, these countries are poor. Okay, Brazil is poor, Colombia is poor, Venezuela, I
Yeah.
don't even think they got money anymore. I think, honey, how's
No.
Venezuela doing?
It's what
He knows
socialism.
more than me.
This is what socialism does to countries. Unfortunately.
Okay, Shay Taylor said it's not that they're finding more feminine women. Oh gosh, I'm trying to see. Shay Taylor said it's not that they're finding more feminine women in these countries. They're finding poor women willing to accept those men because they need resources. Ouch. I didn't say it. You did. Okay. And I was just weird. I wanna read to you what I said here. I truly feel like it's an attack on African American women, and it's based on a lot of misinformation. Like even my husband, because my husband is he's British, and they have a very small black population, and most of the black population comes from where, honey?
Africa.
Africa
Yeah.
and Caribbean too.
Yeah.
African, Caribbean. Okay, so it's a little bit different here, but I want to just go through the facts with you. Okay, I'm actually going. This is from the Pew Research. I'm actually going to highlight this and put it there. Okay, I'm just going to go. I want to go to the facts part. All right, because I know there's people out there that are spreading mistruths. So I'm actually going to copy and paste the facts. You guys know I'm all about the facts. Okay. And how do I paste it here? Okay, you could tell I haven't been on YouTube in a while. And
There you go.
enter. Okay, so black women in America. This is why I was playing. Stop lying. Black women in America. There's something going on with the beta male. Because there's good black men. My father was still is amazing black man who supported his family. My mother was a stay-at-home wife, and he worked hard for his family. My grandparents on my father's side were married for almost 70 years. That's a really long time. And God
Very,
rest
very
their
long time.
soul. They,
Yeah.
they died one after the other. I'm sure they're listening to me right now. And my great grandmother was also a traditionalist, so I have a long heritage of that. But when I hear this crazy lie that black women are gold diggers, that black women only care about money, it makes me wonder, do people look at the actual facts? And I just put it in the comment section for you. 80% of black women in the United States of America are the economic breadwinners of their home.
Yeah.
That means they bring into their households more than 60% of the finances. Then on top of that, more than 2/3 of black women are doing it completely alone. So it doesn't really, like, if you want to have an opinion about black women, I can't say anything. It's a free country. That's what people fought and died for. But I think a lot of people, especially men, are listening to these toxic paradigms and they're not based on fact. Again, if you want to have your opinion, go ahead.
Get your
But that doesn't,
opinion.
I just put it right there. It says right here. I'm trying to read it. Why can't I touch it? Okay, I'm just gonna go to my
Nasty,
Facebook.
sorry, it's got a nasty itch down it.
You got a mosquito bite?
No, I don't know what it is.
Let me see.
No, it's down here.
It's probably mosquito bite, honey. If you scratch, it's gonna itch more. You want me to get something for it right now?
No, it's fine. It's
You
fine.
sure?
Yeah, it's fine.
You sure?
Yeah,
Because I have the
I've got
antiseptic.
loads. It's fine.
Oh, they eating you up this summer.
Yeah, I'm sweet. They
Okay.
like me.
Oh gosh. Okay. So, sorry about that. But it says black women are 80% of the breadwinners in their households. This means black women in the USA are 80% dominated by women who make more than 60% of the income. Also, black women are the highest financial contributors to their marriages, which means that black women, when married, contribute so much that she pushes the man that is married into the next income bracket. Okay? Black women are the hardest working female demographic in the USA, meaning whether married or single, she has the highest concentration of work in the workforce. Remember, African American people in America are only 14% of the American population. When I
Yeah.
tell my clients this, they're like, oh, I thought we were 50%. No,
No.
black people are like in several states: Florida, Texas, California, New York, a little bit of New Jersey and Pennsylvania, and that's where we're heavily concentrated.
You get the Lone Star like in North Dakota or somewhere like that.
I never met a black person
No.
from North Dakota. That's one of the few states I've never been to. North Dakota. I've never been to South Dakota. I don't know where they got two of them. I don't know what's there.
They're just farmlands.
Just farmland, you think?
Aren't they?
I don't know. I don't know anything about
South,
this.
South Dakota has Mount Rushmore. I know that. It's
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. But it says that, we're the hardest working because it says, meaning whether married or single, she has the highest concentration of workforce. She's only 8% of the overall female population, but she represents more than 54% of all female workers. You already know black women are the most educated segment. So I just want to pause right there. I'm not here to bash anyone. But the thing is that a lot of beta men are hiding the truth. A lot of beta, and this could be all types of races, and suppressing the truth and creating this narrative that doesn't really correlate to the facts and statistics. It doesn't
Yeah.
correlate. You're looking at it, it doesn't correlate. And black women, besides Asian, I have to edit that, besides Asian women, are the most frequent independent home buyers. So you might say, what is that? So most couples buy a home together.
Yeah.
That's like a tradition. You get married, you buy a home. Black women are the most independent home buyers, meaning that I guess they're not anticipating getting married, so they're buying homes on their own.
Yeah.
Why
Self-security,
am I talking about all this? Because this is not indicative of a money hungry, lazy woman who is looking for men who make $100,000 or more. The actual statistics and data doesn't match the mantra. Now you might say, what has this got to do with beta men and feminism? Well, beta men, they're the ones who are not taking care. There are good black men out there that I coach and talk to all the time. The guy who actually told me about this man called Al Grease was a black man and said he is actually encouraging black men to go to Brazil, Colombia, Venezuela, Cuba, and Japan,
countries.
Japan
Yeah.
and Philippines to find women. And my thing is, if you don't want to date black women, just say so. You're trying to tell
Yeah.
me there's no feminine women in the Caribbean? Let's play devil's advocate. Let's just say because I always like to see things from men's perspective. Let's say African American women fit that. Let's just say they're masculine,
Yeah.
they're aggressive. Let's give them everything they say about African American women. Let's just give
Okay.
it. Are you trying to tell me you can't find feminine African women? How many countries in Africa?
It's 54.
54 nations? You trying to tell me out of all 54 nations, you can't find one country of feminine black women?
It's all over the place.
Can you talk about that?
Yeah, for real. It's
I mean, oh yeah, you went for real, okay.
No, it's
So you
just,
want to
you
talk
know,
about that, honey?
It's you find I've been obviously around a lot of black folks from different backgrounds, from African or they're Caribbean or they're first generation, like my wife is. Connie's American, but obviously her parents are from Jamaica. A lot of my friends my age were first generations. That were black folks, especially went to university. Their parents were mainly from Nigeria or Ghana, and they're very some of the women that I knew when I went to university, because that's how I really got sort of um, how can I say, I won't say interested, but I kind of just learned, because that was my environments there. I mean, where I'm from in the UK, it's very whitewash.
Mm-hmm.
It's a county of less than a million people that live inside. It's about 900,000. And it's very sparsely populated. It's the county itself is about I think it's 5 to 7 times bigger than Greater London, and it's a lot of farmland. It's very homogenous. You ain't gonna find a lot of black folks where we live. It's it's a struggle to find people to do hair around here for my wife. Me.
Oh, we got a flag there
That's
from
Ghana.
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 You see how
Ghana.
fast my husband know the flag before I do. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, I think that's Ghana. He's like, that's
Black
Ghana.
Star. Black
So my
Stars.
husband is very cultured
Yeah.
in certain. I can't say the whole thing because there's so much parts of Africa.
Oh yeah,
But
there's thousands of different tribes in different, like, hundreds of different languages in Africa, different practices, different beliefs. It's it's because unfortunately a lot of people think that it's just a mono Africa has just this mono culture where everyone speaks the same language, and
oh no,
and everyone speaks
that's
the
not
same
true.
thing, which is obviously not true.
But my
It's,
whole point
yeah.
is, and I'm not dissing African American women because I identify as first generation African American. I'm proud to be born in Brooklyn. I'm proud to be from New York. Okay,
New York.
I'm proud.
Coffee.
I got the New York accent. I
Okay,
love.
nice.
I'm proud to be from the hood and never hide my background. Never try to change who I am, and I can honestly tell you, like, let's just say you are saying African American, fill in the blank. Do you really expect me to believe that you're avoiding all the black countries?
Yeah.
You're avoiding the entire continent of Africa, but then you're going to Singapore and the Philippines. You're ignoring the entire Black Caribbean, but you're going to Cuba and Colombia, Venezuela. Like I said, everybody's entitled to like what they like. Let them go. But when you start when you are a beta male and you have to start fabricating, and even black men will tell you this is not accurate. Like, black women are not there looking for six-figure men only. Black women are not there saying, oh, you only make six figures, I can't date you. The statistics show completely the other way around, where black women need to actually do some vetting because they're not having children with men who want to support them. They're not having children with men who want to marry them. And yeah, I hold that accountable on you as a woman, because only you have the power to give yourself to someone. And that's the way you empower yourself, by making better choices and not just playing victim. Like, there's always going to be bad people in every demographic.
Demographic,
And
society.
because one of the biggest questions I get on this channel, and I could already tell when I wake up tomorrow, I'm going to see, are you pro swirl? I'm pro a good man. There are good black men, there are good white men, there are bad black men, there are bad white men. Like, I don't believe the
I think
color of your
know,
skin gives you, like, I have clients that were in the heavy swirl community, and they were only dating white guys, and they're getting played.
because
Well, the majority of, okay, let me talk about that for a second, because I've actually have a lot of experience with Brazil. Brazil is a very heavily segregated country. It suffers from a
it's
lot
a
of
second world country.
yeah, it suffers from a lot of racism. If you go to Brazil, there is like the white side, which is the Eurocentric side, the Germans and the Polish that migrated there, and you have the Afrocentric side. Do not believe that it is a happy camp. They do not identify as an African nation. They do not identify as Afrocentric. If you go there, they're definitely
That's it. That black people say they're Brazilian.
yeah, they won't identify as African American, Afrocentrism. So that's not true. Yes, outside of United States, outside of Africa, the biggest concentration of slaves did go to Brazil, and they don't like that you'll never see Brazil saying we're
More
African.
went, I think.
Yeah, what?
More went. Slaves went to South America. They went to North America.
Yeah, Brazil is
Yeah.
there. So to prove you my point that I am not just fabricating this because I'm fact based,
Yeah.
there was a Miss Carnival event that happens in Brazil every single year, and one of the winners, Miss Carnival Brazil. One of the winners was a gorgeous, ebony rich, dark skinned black woman. And they actually took her crown away after people called in. And this is like their Miss America. This is like their beauty pageant. And they actually, I have a documentary. I'm actually going to put it into the link so you can read it. And the people of Brazil, even though she won, they were upset. It's called Too Black for Brazil, and it's a documentary done by The Guardian. So, I mean, obviously she's attractive and showing it to my husband, and she won. And she said they called me Niagara, and like she's a beautiful dark skinned woman. I mean, absolutely Afrocentric.
Lanaya is her name.
Yeah, and
That's
they
what
could
Snow
not
is.
accept her. That's her boyfriend. I'm showing my husband, and they could not accept a dark skinned, ebony rich woman. So they took her crown away. They took her crown away because they were embarrassed, and they replaced her with a more Eurocentric carnival queen. Now, if you want to look at this culture for yourself, this is not a culture that identifies with black. It's completely separated because you do have the European looking Brazilians and you do have the more Afrocentric ones. And definitely the lighter skin, the fair skin, the biracial, they're treated better. So I want to show you because I'm going to put it in here. So for those of you watching this, I'm going to try to put it in here. Okay, did it go? Did it ever go? This ever go here? I'm trying to put stuff in here. Oh, it's too long.
Yeah.
That's why I didn't go. Okay, so I'll just get rid of that. So you can actually watch the video. I just put the video into this chat, and the name of the video is Too Black for Brazil. And I'll read it to you. Nayara Justino,
Yeah.
Nayara, thought her dream had come true when she was selected as the Globaliza Carnival
Lisa,
Queen
yeah.
in 2013 after a public vote on Brazil's biggest TV show. But some regarded her complexion to be too dark to be acceptable queen. And this is not something unusual. You know, the colorism is deep because they're in denial of their black ancestry. And the ones who do identify as black are not seen as attractive. Like for example, when you look at Victoria's Secret's model, Giselle Bündchen is Brazil. A lot of the Brazilian models look European. So it's not a country that identifies as black. The black men that are going there are not looking for Afrocentric women. Please don't gaslight me on my channel because I will like find your name and I will block you and I won't even argue with you. I deal with facts and statistics. You want black women? Go to Africa. Do not gaslight me.
For real.
You want black women? Go to Africa. If you don't like black women, that's okay. But don't gaslight me. If you're looking for feminine black women, it's called Africa. There's 54 nations. Pick one. But if you don't
Yeah.
want it, that's great. But what you're not supposed to do is tell the whole world on YouTube that we are gold diggers and that we are masculine and we're hyper. When you look at these countries are Brazil is one of the most Catholic nations in the world. They have a very strong marriage culture. Singapore, I don't know what religion they are. They're like half Muslim, half Christian. Also very marriage minded, very patriarchal nation. Cuba, Catholic, okay? Catholic, very traditional. It just bothers me because okay, let's give black men that ideology. You skip in Africa and the Black Caribbean. That's you trying to tell me you can't find tradition. I mean, you have more experience than I do. The African women that you come encountered with, and you could be honest, are they feminine? Are they?
Yeah, Jenny, there's always going to be the odd one that I know that as an individual they are a bit snappy and a bit, but that's just you just get to
Where they
realize.
from? Because Africa's big.
Well, no, they could be Zimbabwe, they could be South Africa, Nigeria, Ghana, the Congo, Namibia, all the sort of major sub-Saharan countries. where predominantly the black population does live in Africa. You know, obviously as you go further north is where you've got the Arab countries of like
Egypt,
Egypt. You've got
Morocco.
Morocco, Algeria, Tunisia. Yeah,
Okay. And that's, my
yeah,
husband has been to Africa. He's
yeah.
actually been there. So he's not talking from a textbook. He's been in Africa. So it's just odd to me. Like I said, everybody should be empowered and to have their choice. But as long as you, thank you, as long as you have your choice and you're respectful. Like I would never ever, even though my husband is Caucasian, he's British, I would never come on here and say, hey, sisters, let's go to Europe and find European men because we want real masculine men. That is such a blow to your own community. It's like
Yeah.
it is. I don't understand. Like it's not. It's so bad. Like I would never do a video and say, let me grab all the black women and let's go to Europe and let's go to what other place? I don't know. The Middle East, I don't know,
Yeah.
or Asia, because we want to find real masculine men. It's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. That's like literally emasculating millions of men. And by you calling black women these names and not looking at the truth of it, because I'm going to be honest with you. If you want to go to Brazil and Colombia and Venezuela, those are patriarchal countries. Their men are the ones who made that society. Their men are the ones who dominate the society. So when you're complimenting these women, you're actually complimenting their men. If you go to Singapore and say Singaporean women are so feminine, you're actually complimenting Singaporean men because they create that dynamic
Yeah.
for the women to be that way. And the fact is, we in America, we do have a political melting pot. You got conservatives on one side. Okay. Oh, okay. Shay said, thank you. I'm tired of black men and women shaming our community because they're able to find a good partner. Well, I mean, listen, as a coach, I help black women get into healthy, happy marriages.
Yeah.
Out of 50 marriages, 44 are married to amazing black men. That's why I have respect for black men because they marry my clients. They give them nice things. They treat them well. They're Christian. They're God fearing. They want to be good fathers. They want to be husbands. Mine just so happened to be melanin deficient, but he's a wonderful God fearing man as
Well,
well.
it depends
What do you mean? Depends.
in what area, darling.
Jason, where are you two? We were what areas? Oh my God. I'm gonna pour me something to drink. You're embarrassing
Just
me.
joking, you know. It's
It's okay. That's a
it
good thing to
busts a
joke about.
myth.
That's a good thing to joke about. I
Yeah.
love you.
I love you too.
But I have respect for black men because I coach them, I mentor them, and it has nothing to do with my husband. I've been doing this for 15 years. I used to work in bridal. I used to do nonprofits and charities, organizations, always helping out the black community. And even though I'm married to my husband, I can easily come on here. I'm very happy and much in love. I can easily come on here and start saying swirl and divest, but that's not rooted in mental health. That's not rooted in therapy. If you go to any psychologist and you have hate and trauma and pain, you need to heal and release. Because when you hold that in your heart, it makes you attract more of what you don't want because you're so focused on the anger.
Yep.
And a lot of black women, when they take my program, you might say, well, if you feel that way, why isn't your husband black? Well, I'm a Roman Catholic Christian. And even when I tried before in the past, when I converted to date African American men who were Christian, if you don't know about religion, Catholics and Protestants are like Bloods and the Crips. Most black men wanted me to change my religion. They don't like Roman Catholicism. They're not into Roman Catholics. We get a bad rep. And it's probably, I'm so passionate about my religion. You see, I'm wearing my cross here. I'm really Catholic. I pray and I light my candles. And my husband is Christian as well, and he supports my faith. He respects my faith. And that's really important to me because it's a huge part of me, who I am as a woman. And that was another defining factor because that matters to me. My religion is, besides my husband, the most important thing I ever did in my life was become Catholic. And the most important thing ever is me marrying my husband. So it's kind of like a cascade of faith.
Most important thing is giving your life to Jesus Christ.
Oh, okay. Well,
That's the
part
most
of
important
me, well, I don't know. Okay.
Darling,
So
it's
the
the
Bayou, she's laughing. But I don't think black women have healthy outlets in the YouTube realm, because I don't see myself as what they call it. I don't know what they call these people on YouTube. I know y'all have hot love, very hot. No, but I don't see myself as like, trendsetter. I see myself as a certified coach, an advocate for mental health, somebody that really cares about. I talk about psychology
Yeah.
and mental health conditions all the time. I know I drive my husband crazy because I love what I do. And I don't think black women have healthy resources. You got black women who are, hate black women and want to insult black women, emotionally abusive to black women, and they do it for triggers and clicks and likes. It makes money. If I come on here and say black women fill in the blank, you're gonna click on my video and I'm gonna make money. If I come on here and say
Yeah.
black men fill in the blank, there are people who don't care about your mental health, don't care about your healing, they don't care about your success, they don't care if you get into a healthy relationship, they don't give a bleep. All they want to do is you click on their videos. But I love you. I love black women. I love the black community. I love black men. My father is a black man. I love my brother. I speak to him more than my sister. So
I'm curious at watching this.
no, no, she's not watching it.
Yeah.
But I have respect, and that's a healthy place to date from. If you're going into an interracial relationship, you shouldn't be dating from a place of hate. Like, can I ask you something? Like, if
Go
you
ahead.
see I hate black men and I hate the black community, would that make me an attractive wife?
No.
Why not?
Just makes it cringe.
Why does it make you cringe? Trying to get you to talk here.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to think. It's well, give me a second. I just think it's sort of I with number one, it's not true that there are a lot of, like you say, there's good people, bad people in all races and ethnicities. But it's kind of like it's you're actually dating me because of you want to be with me because of these men are not that, rather than just being with me for who I am as a person. So that kind of, do you get what I'm trying to say?
Basically, you don't want to be a spare.
Yeah.
Like
It's
any
basically
other man, you
like,
want to be the first choice. And
Yeah.
like I said, I don't, as a coach, I don't have really traumatic relationship stories to share with you from black men. I've met wonderful black men. We just weren't compatible when it came to religion. We weren't compatible when it came to me being a housewife. Only 8% of black women in the entire America are housewives. And 3% of that are self-preserved. I don't even know what that means. Basically, you're a housewife and you're single.
Yeah.
I don't. How do you do that? So there's a very small minority of black women who are self-employed. Either they work from home, or they have unconventional.
Let's look at this.
Or you want to get some of that, or they have unconventional jobs, and they don't punch a clock. So basically, I would say about 5% of black women. So it's not a cultural thing for us as African Americans to be homemakers. 'Cause I remember when I graduated from college and I have my degree and everything and I'm making good money. And when I was dating really attractive black men and they would say, oh, what do you want to do? And I say, I want to be a mom. I want to have babies and stay home and take care of my family. You could see it was a culture that was stolen from us.
what?
Like what? Like what?
You
No,
do want to do what?
exactly. You want to do what?
You crazy?
Why he knows you crazy because he hears this himself.
Yeah,
And
for real.
I don't judge because everybody has a different culture system. But if you ask me a question, I'm going to answer it. I'm Roman Catholic traditional. I'm a traditional wife. I've been a traditionalist for over 15 years. This is not something new. I just found out. Anybody that knows me in my personal life knows how strong I feel about religion and how strong I feel about spirituality. I'm open to, respecting others, but I do feel like the traditional movement now is being devoid of spirituality and faith, which is the very essence of success. And it's being warped into this fictitious super show. And a lot of beta men, put it like this, I'll make this video real short. Somebody said to me, they messaged me today, how can you tell a man is a beta male? Basically, a beta male is a confused man. He's not a leader. He's not a provider. He's not a protector. Doesn't matter what race
Likes
he
to be
is.
told what to do.
He likes to be told what to do.
Likes to be dominated.
Likes to be dominated. Ew, that just
Yeah.
sounds gross. But Here are
It's
some.
true. You remember, like, how we first met, right? And we'll leave the person's name unnamed, but there was a certain guy, and he was talking to you, and he lived in London, right? He was a white dude, and it was an interracial group, and that's how we met, you know.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. Oh
Yeah,
my God.
and he
Okay.
was like, you shouldn't actually, you know, like belittle me because I want to be dominated and things like that, and all
He
this
was
sort of.
weird.
He was a strange bloke. I mean, it's like, why don't you just go and date a guy? It's if that's what you want. It's
But would you, like, for
it's
instance, I'm going to make it real quick.
yeah.
You can't be an alpha male but love the benefits of modern extreme feminists. And again, I'm not talking about credit cards. I'm not talking about Macy's, buying homes and stuff like that. I'm talking about you can't be an extreme, you can't be an alpha male if you're enjoying casual sex because you're saying, oh, I'm an alpha male and I'm traditional. You got to thank feminists for that. You can't get
Yeah.
mad at feminists if you like having sex on the first date. You can't get mad at feminists if you want to live with your girlfriend, you know, period. You can't be feminist. You can't be mad at feminists if you want to have children before you get married. You can't be mad at feminists if you enjoy, going to bars and picking up women. 95% of the things that beta male don't like, they can't survive without these systems.
Yeah.
Because traditionally, they would never get these women. There's a big gray area that are giving beta men a platform they never could have. Like, for instance, I hate to do this because I don't like to drag people, and you probably don't know, but there's an Instagram young lady, and her name is Brittany Rainier. Like, I don't want to repeat her name too much. And she had a very, I could say, very experienced dating life. I'm just trying to be professional.
Okay.
She was very friendly with dating, okay? Very friendly.
Just say
And
how it is.
okay, no, we're on YouTube. I'm not trying to get I want the video not to get
No,
blocked.
it's fine.
And so, everybody knew about her, but she's beautiful. She has a great body. She works out, beautiful parts of the body, whatever. And she was, you like, oh.
No, it's just I wasn't. I was just moving because I was.
Sure you were.
I don't even know who you're talking about.
So
it's,
yeah, so she landed a basketball player who's only 22. And I don't know how true it is, and it's saying she just had a baby and she deliberately broke up with him right before she gave birth. That's what I heard.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
So she can get 200.
Is she light skinned black girl? Is that?
I think she's
apparently
black.
she's gonna get
$200,000
$200,000 a month. For
So
18
first of all, I
years.
told my husband I don't believe that story. $200,000 a month is like $43 million for 18 years. I don't believe that. His yearly income is less than 6 million, 5 million. So you gotta be careful with all the gossip. I don't like gossip. I like facts, science, and stuff. But my whole point is, it wasn't a secret that she was very exotic with her dating.
Promiscuous.
Okay, my husband said it. Okay, she was very sensational with her dating life. And the reason I'm using these words is because I'm trying not to trigger people into calling, it is what it is. But I just hear so much negativity, just like out of my, like that's the type of, he's a beta, in my opinion, that guy's a beta male. I know he's 22, but you're a man. You're a beta male. Like, you wouldn't be able to survive without that gray area of that superficial wealth. Like, come on, you know better than that. And there's a lot of these beta men who are decrying women, but they cannot live without these feminist systems. There are beta men right now who got a lot of stuff to say about women, but they can't live without one night stands. They can't live without women without
Yeah.
low expectations. They can't live. Literally, if I took a magic wand, I'll take my makeup brush, and I take a magic wand, and I said, every single black woman in America, bibbity boppity boop, is going to be chaste, domesticated, not going to college, and waiting for a protected provider. You're going to see a lot of men run for the border. You're going to see the alpha men rise, and a lot of men run for the border because beta men cannot be competitive. Beta men crumble under pressure. Beta men are they were the men that got conquered in their
Literally running for the border.
running for the border.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? This might be interesting. Don't be careful how you talk about it. 'Cause I don't want it to get banned. But look at the guy who did that act, and he, the guy who shot
Yeah.
this talk that we were. I don't mean. Oh gosh, we gotta be careful talking
No, it wouldn't be
about.
sensible.
Oh no,
you
we're
know,
gonna get in
it's,
trouble. We're gonna get in
Basically, there was a
trouble.
mass shooting that went on in England a
The
couple of
first
days
mass shooting in
ago.
10
I
years.
forget the guy's name now, but he
Don't even
was
say it. Don't say it because they're gonna
he
block my video.
was part of something of various incel groups where
Explain to him what it is, my love. They
an
don't
incel
know.
group is a group of like men that are together that have a common belief well their common the commonality they have between each other is that they are involuntary abstinent, you know.
They said involuntary celibacy,
Celibacy,
whatever
that's it,
that is
yeah.
supposed to mean.
Basically, they were not getting the they weren't getting the you know the prize. You know, it's if you get what I'm trying to say.
They get
it's,
it, my love. They
you know,
involuntary
even though they wanted
celibacy.
it, they weren't. It's like they wanted it, but they weren't getting it. And this guy was rambling on, about how women have so many options and things like that. And I was like, well, what kind of women are you going for? Because I look at you, and I'm like, yeah, they're not going to go for you. It's your haircut's all over the place. It's
Oh my God, husband.
and and then eventually he just got so mad he shot his mother.
He killed his mother.
He killed his mum, and he killed four other people, including a 3-year-old and 3-year-old girl. He shot dead, and then he turned the gun on himself, and he was blaming everything. There was no lack of accountability in his own life. Like, he was saying, why is my life, I'm working so hard and I see people working this hard, they're far ahead of me. And I know, it's a classic old saying that you're saying work smarter, not harder. But, he was self-pitying. He's not taking any, he wasn't taking any accountability of his own actions. He was being a beta male, whining, alpha men. We look at ourselves, we critique ourselves, we take constructive criticism. It's and he was just feeling so sorry for himself, and he just took it out on and unfortunately it's very apparently
sad.
he had his gun confiscated from him about a month ago, because apparently he was it slapping women or something like that? It was like sexual assault.
So I
Was it
think like a
sexual assault?
month before,
Yeah.
he had assault charges, and he was slapping women just randomly because
Yeah.
slap attacks.
And the gun was given back to him.
They confiscate, yeah, and they could have saved lives. But
Well, they don't know whether it was the gun that he was registered with. It could be another one, but it's probably.
oh, they changed it. I thought you said
Well, they didn't know whether the gun that he actually used was the one that was registered to him, because you have to register a firearm in your name to and we don't know whether it was actually the firearm that was given back to him, or it was a completely different one. Which if he did hold that one, it would be held illegally.
I mean, the whole point is this is England's first mass attack. I'm trying to be careful saying the
Mass
special word.
shooting.
Honey, I don't want them to block the
I'm not
video.
gonna block you on this.
They always block it and give me like, okay, whatever. But
In 10 years.
yeah, it was the first mass attack in 10 years. And basically, he's a 22-year-old virgin. And I don't know what groups he was in. I don't want to say it too much. But the fact is, that's a beta male. They can't compete. When they're put under pressure. And I know it sounds very kind of like prehistoric or something, but that's just how men are. Men have fought and won battles for thousands of years amongst their own tribes, amongst their own countrymen. You've seen one of my favorite movies with Mel Gibson. What's the movie that Mel Gibson did years ago?
Braveheart.
One of my favorite movies, Braveheart. They're fighting amongst. This is just how men are. You Shaka Zulu tribe. It doesn't matter. This is just how men are. But we're in a weird modern age. Okay. Hold on one second.
Oh, we just got a message.
Oh, okay. Okay. Wait a minute. We could have some fun with this. Hold on. Wait a minute. Okay, I just sent that message. But that's what happens with beta men. Remember, I respect traditional men. I respect alpha men. My father's an alpha man. My brother's an alpha man. My nephew's an alpha man. My husband is an alpha man. I love him so much. But
Oh,
I
that's
love you.
cute for
I
you,
love
darling.
you. Okay. And I feel safe with my husband. My husband takes excellent care of me. I could be a big baby sometimes. I could be a handful, not easy. But my husband's a true man. And I want to make sure he knows that. But beta men are enemies of alpha men. They're the ones who are supporting feminists behind your back. They're the ones who are marrying feminists, passing those Tiffany rings, those Cartier rings, those Van Cleef and Arpels. They're the ones acknowledging and they're making it tougher for good men, for good men. They're the ones that can't get women without throwing $1 billion at them. These are beta men. I was actually listening to a clubhouse, and the clubhouse was actually the men were admitting that, hey Roxy, the
Hello,
men
Roxy.
the men were admitting on a clubhouse that as long as the woman is pretty, they may overlook red flags. And I'm like, who's gonna what like okay, and they used young Halle Berry as an example.
Yeah.
And I'm like, listen, a man's gonna be a man. Understand you might want to smash somebody because they're good looking. But the
Yeah.
question was, would you make this person your wife if you knew they were self-destructive, if you knew they would be my wife material? And people were like, well, if she's really hot. No, no,
No.
no. It doesn't work like that. When you're trying to have a woman to raise your kids, take care of your home, nurture your masculinity, not make you go crazy, like it's very telling of why we're in this dysfunction. So yeah, I just think that when it comes to beta men, you have to be careful because they are the snakes in the traditional alpha man. They're
Yeah.
not strong, and they come in all colors, all races. No one is safe because I mean the beta men are the ones changing. What's the Robin into bisexual? The beta one, the beta ones are the ones changing Loki to. I don't even know why Loki got to be bisexual. He's a god. He's not even a real person. He's a
Yeah.
god of mischief. The beta men are the ones in the American Medical Association. I showed my husband. They want birth certificates in America to
Yeah.
remove sex.
Sex. Yeah.
So I showed it to my
Because they're
husband.
afraid of offending people. What they want to include. It's.
Yeah, I showed it to my husband that they want to get rid of the sex. There's no women in the American Medical Association, not like that. And what you have to understand, oh, my faith, like I said, I talked about, like I said, I'm not a Trump supporter, but I do believe those 22 women worked with beta men who couldn't defeat him the fair way. They couldn't defeat him in an election. So let's just grab all these women who say they've been sexually blank. Let's leave it right there. And I'm not saying that I don't believe women because I've worked in domestic abuse shelters. I've volunteered, people that know me. I've actually raised money for Black women charities, for Black women health imperative. So I'm not talking out of my ass. But I said to my husband a few nights ago, we're all 22 women. Even why is not one carrying out their lawsuit? You
Yeah.
okay?
Yeah. I'm just getting a bit tight down here, sweetheart.
I
Oh.
mean, put your feet over here.
No, it's alright. It's.
Yeah. So why are all 22 women? Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm just gonna stretch my leg.
Put your legs out there.
Yeah, it's alright. It's alright.
You're comfortable? You okay?
Yeah, I'm alright now. Yeah.
Yeah. Why are all 22 women?
That was the sofa. Don't worry.
Okay.
That wasn't what you thought it was, darling.
I'm like, what
It's-
is that? Why are
No.
all 22 women disappearing? Even the thing with the governor Cuomo. Again, I'm not here for politics. I don't care who you vote for, but it's very strategic. And like beta men use these things to take down even the Me Too movement. Look at Me Too. Me Too was started by a Black woman to help socioeconomically disadvantaged women get justice for real violent acts against them, right? When's the last time you seen a Black woman with the Me Too? They've been using it to target powerful men that beta men could not take down the right way. And they're teaming up with women. Whether you believe them or not, I'm not here to argue with you. But the fact is, this is a coexistence between two people. And I don't think we see it because, we're like so enthralled in it. We don't see it. And like I said, people don't see things neutrally. I'm not here for any politician. I don't really care, to be honest. You don't want to hear my opinions on politics. I don't care about anybody. But I just think that beta men are the ones who can't win the right way. Traditionally, these beta men would have either died out, lost wars, lost battles, where they had to submit to the leadership of these alpha men, or just not exist. The bloodline would die out. So it's really important for men who are sincerely traditional, men who do care about traditional values, men who do want to heal their communities, men who want to raise their sons, their daughters in stable, healthy homes. It's not a fantasy. It's not a dream. You can have it. It's about being proactive and really putting the truth and statistics first, and not fighting each other. We need each other. We're made for each other. We love each other. And there's no peace in just throwing mud at each other. So I really hope this video touched home with you. Again, if you want to find me, my name is Connie Loren Comer. Comer is Comer. And I put my Facebook page into the chat. If you can't find it, let me see if I can actually, before I go, because people be looking. I don't check my I don't check my YouTube messages. I know I should. I'm actually scared to check it. It's probably a lot. It's probably a lot. I'm scared to actually log into I probably should revamp it and check it. But thank you guys. You can share this video. Blessings to everyone, and have a great weekend.
Yep, have a great weekend. Have a good Saturday night. It's nearly 4 o'clock in the morning here, Sunday morning. So have a good Saturday evening. That's just like laughing. It's late here. It's early in the morning here, so please forgive me. It's but we thought we'd come on and talk. So
Yeah.
have a good weekend, guys, and God bless you all. And I hope you have a good weekend once again.
Thank you, honey.
Mwah.
Okay. Bye-bye, guys.
Bye.